Good afternoon, everybody. It's Max Convexity. I hope everyone's having a great afternoon. Let's take a look at this spreadsheet and see how these Defiance funds are doing. We're going to start on Defiance, then we're going to look at the broader market and some of the YieldMax underlines, see how everyone's doing. All right, look at that. 5 out of 6 outperforming right now. That is a good sign to see. Even the ones that are down a little bit less, like IWMY. The ones that are up a little bit more. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice to see. Okay. So as far as the actual performance of the trades these funds are doing, the left-hand column is how the market views the funds today. This is actually what's happening. And right now, IWMY is down a little bit. And that's probably why it's it's down a little bit. You know, the market has it down a little bit as well. In any event, IWMY sold options and they earned premium of $9.67. Right now, it would cost $13.90 to buy those options back. There's a couple of hours left in the day, 2 hours and 13 minutes, 12 minutes, but we shall see what happens. The other ones, like Triple QI, they earned a premium of $66. Right now, they would have to buy those back for $22, but that still would leave them a profit of about $600,000. These funds are doing well on the month. This oil one's only a couple of days old. This USOY, that dividend estimate's way too high. And you want to go buy it because you see that dividend. I'm going to have to do some work on it this weekend. The calculation is correct. It's making the correct calculation. I just couldn't believe it's going to pay that much. I think it's not based on enough data. Or I know that's what it is. It's not a fair representation of the month. I just took the premium earned so far and extrapolated over a month, but that's not always a fair comparison. I bet it will not be that high when the actual dividend gets here. We shall see. All right, well, let's look at the market here. Our market was doing good and then just sold off. Okay, so here's NASDAQ. It's about halfway through its profit box. Here's SPX. It's about where it opened, maybe a little bit under where it opened. And here's Russell. This is the one that was underwater a little bit. So we're going to expect this one. Yeah, this one, in fact, has never been profitable today. It doesn't look like. Maybe when it first opened, it was for a little while, potentially. Okay, so let's look at our other underlines. Let's look at USO. All right, USO sells a put. Puts a bullish strategy, top line or above its max profit. USO made max profit today, made almost max profit yesterday because they almost closed at the line. But on Wednesday, they sold an option of last week, and it was a big loss for them. They actually got exercised, ended up the proud owner of some USO shares, which didn't hurt them too bad because it bounced the next day. And then they wrote this next option over here. So in any event, let's look at TLT. That's also our other underline. That's the underline for Tress. I mean, bonds have definitely been rallying. The month of May, bonds have been rallying, and of course, so is the market. In April, bonds sold off, and so did the market, of course. The interest rates went higher when bonds sold off, and then market went lower. Reverse is happening now. Okay, so now let's get over here and let's look at some of these YieldMax stocks. These YieldMax underlines. Let's start with Coinbase. That's usually where I start. Well, let's start with Bitcoin. It's not really it is an underline actually to lots of things, but okay, well, that's part of the problem. Look what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's, given a, if I was trading it, that would be a sell signal on that time frame of Bitcoin. So anyway, that's what's making the market pull back. Okay, so now on to Coinbase. And I bet you Coinbase's chart is going to look similar to Bitcoin's chart. Yep. This may have bailed out Coinbase. If you look, I always talk about the prayer method to option trading or option strategies. So when you have an option that goes in the money, you have a strike that gets blown out. You can roll it, but that's one of your options is to roll it. But another option is just to do nothing. I kind of jokingly call that the prayer method. But, just in other words, to hope it hope the price moves back in your favor where you want it to. But in any event, this is a case of it working out. A few weeks ago, people were doing it on Tesla, and it did not work out. Okay, well, speaking of Tesla and Tesla, here's Tesla, but here is Tesla. Tesla's more what I'm interested in. I'm interested actually more in Tesla, but you have to know a lot about Tesla to trade Tesla. Or you have to know a lot about Tesla to trade Tesla, because it's the number one biggest factor. Okay. So on this one, it's just grinding here. It's between two of their strikes. This one's really in a pretty good spot. I saw some people on Reddit and on the internet griping about how the YieldMax stocks were underperforming today because a lot of them were capped out. And I think they were mainly talking about this one. Or yeah, Mr. was up 15% yesterday, and the high yield equivalent, or it's not an equivalent, but the high yield little brother, let's just say, was only up 2.5%. So let's look at NVIDIA. Then, speaking of how we're doing compared to other things, we'll go to the buffer report next. Now, NVIDIA, they had this strike down here, this 920, and they rolled some of it out to a 950, but they went out to next week. Now, these guys still have the 920, but this 920 doesn't expire until right there. But then the 950, and they'll adjust this position, I'm sure. But for now, and that box is to scale. That actually represents the amount of dollars they brought in on that option premium. Okay, so now let's look at the buffer report real quick. I'm probably over my 5 minutes, but we'll just look at the buffer report real quick. I need to figure out a way when I have one fund that's off the charts to like put it on a different chart, because it messes up the scale of all the other ones. A way to easily do that. Like I always say, I need to have Corey maybe look at my buffer report. She could do to my buffer report what she did to the freaking 5 minute max. Holy cow. It'd be a whole new report. In any event, I assume while I'm talking, you guys are looking at your own fund. I have there's too many of them on here for me to say. Hey, I'll say this. Yesterday, I was noticing that YieldMax and YMAG were down, but I said it had to be an error. There was no way it was true, because they're great funds, and it was a great day for the market. And of course, somebody in the comments, it was. I knew it wasn't ex-dividend day for YieldMax, but I forgot that they have a different. The fund of funds have a different ex-dividend day. I just have Defiance, so I don't even know when the. I need to get some YieldMax funds too, I guess. I mean, and that's the first place I'd start is YieldMax. The more, the merrier. I like diversification. In any event, the buffer report's kind of a bust today. Why don't I let you guys go, and I'll be back at the end of the day, and we'll try to have a better report at that time. All right. I appreciate everyone for being here. Like I say, I appreciate all the support for the channel. I've recently changed my formatting. I've lost a bunch of subscribers, but I appreciate the subscribers that are still here. And I also appreciate the new subscribers that I picked up. I'm working on some good original content right now. So anyway, hopefully you guys will like that. All right. You have a good day.